We are live. And I think it's green today. Look at that. That's good to see. Little early stream for you guys. I want to talk about Thursday night's ICP Twitch stream. Obviously before tonight's Twitch stream, which will be the Jam Exam, Carnival of Carnage Jam Exam, which I'm excited for. But I have to talk about the last stream. I have to give you guys my thoughts about the last stream. But let me get this fucking link first. Your channel. There's my link. Okay. Alright. Live now. YouTube. Link. Comments. Okay. So we're going to put that on Facebook. Okay. It's on Facebook. Put it in a couple of Discords. Alright. Shouts out to Bartle Boss and the Dead Guy. Just put it in their Discord. Yeah, I'll put it on fucking Twitter too. Why the fuck not? Oh, live now on YouTube. Fuck it. Alright. Whoop whoop, Stony, I see you. Hola, Jimmy Pockets. Hope you guys are doing good. So, first of all, I'm going to talk about a couple of things before I get into, you know, the Twitch stream, the Slideshow Spectacular. First of all, I want to talk about Scott Hall a little bit. Scott Hall, I had some heart attacks apparently overnight, and is currently on life support, and might be taken off of life support, likely will be taken off of life support according to Kevin Nash. And I just wanted to say a few things about Scott Hall, because Scott Hall is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. When I started watching WCW in South Carolina as a kid, I was introduced to WCW by a friend of mine named Matt, who was a big wrestling fan. And one night, I should say, he brought me over to watch WCW Saturday Night, and this was the height of NWO. And I remember him explaining to me like who all the wrestlers were as they were coming out, and the Outsiders came out, and I thought they were cool as shit. But he was like, no, we don't like them. They're the bad guys. And I was like, well, why don't we like them? That shit is dope. Scottish Misfit, I see you in here, man. Whoop whoop. But so Scott Hall particularly stood out to me. Scott Hall has a particular look to him. The motherfucker looks to me like a Disney cartoon villain. Like if you've ever seen DuckTales, to me he looks like one of the like the motherfucking villains, like the robbery guys, the thugs that would be in DuckTales. He like looks like one of those motherfuckers to me. So I've always thought he just has such a dope look. And as a kid, I always kind of rooted for the villains in like cartoons and anything that I was watching. So Scott Hall was always kind of, I don't know, I always kind of gravitated towards Scott. His movements, the way he would come out to the ring, the throwing of the toothpick, all that shit, man. So I don't know, it really upsets me. Scott had his struggles. It was great to see Scott come out of his struggles and, come on top. But, it sucks that he might be at an end. So positive vibes to motherfucking Scott Hall. If you're leaving this dirtball, man, hopefully you have a good journey elsewhere, dude. He's not gone yet, though. This isn't RIP. This is just me paying my respects while the man's still here, I guess, if you will, because it seems like he might not be here long. Yeah. Just had to say something a little bit about Scott before we get into things. The Bloody Brothers single is out. I have it right over there. I'm going to do an unboxing video for you guys, real quick unboxing video, probably later today. After Murder Sunrise. I've listened to it already. I'll talk about my thoughts about the song on the unboxing video. Yeah, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Violent J birthday confusion, which is the title of this video. I guess I'll go ahead and talk about that now. Scottish Misfit said, I'm glad he was clean and DDP is a miracle worker. Yeah, I was just talking to Emily right before this stream about DDP and what he did to help Scott Hall. If you've never seen the resurrection of Jake the Snake, that's a great way to sort of see Scott get sober and tackle his demons. And Jake the Snake do the same damn thing. People can survive a long time after heart attacks if they change their diet and lifestyle. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound good though, Jimmy Pockets, for poor Scott. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's really kind of shitty. So I want to talk about Violent J's birthday confusion on a more lighter note. So, if you guys remember, last year during the Patreon streams, Violent J talked a little bit about being confused about his birthday. And I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the way he framed it was he thought that the year before he had turned 50 and that he would I could be fucking this up, but he had thought that the year before he had turned 50 and that he was turning 50 that year. But maybe I have it fucked up and I'm confused, and he was saying he thought he was turning 50 last year and he was actually turning 50 this year. But I remember him saying he wanted to do a 50th birthday party on those Patreon streams. But yeah, so I don't even, at this point, I don't know if I'm confused or if Violent J is confused. Someone's confused. I think it might be me though. But regardless, Violent J was confused at some point about his birthday. And he's on track now to be 50, and he's doing a birthday show that was announced on the Twitch stream, which I guess I'm just going to dive in to that Twitch stream there. Stony Low says, yeah, this news is really stale. For sure, man. We were talking a little, me and Stony were talking a little bit earlier about it. Yeah, it really sucks. Yeah, he's 50 for sure. I mean, he's about to be 50 for sure. I'm still confused with what he was trying to get across on that Patreon stream. I want to figure out which one it is that he was talking about that and go find that. I'm pretty sure it's one of the ones I recap though, so I should be able to find that in my notes. From the pictures Jay's girlfriend has of him and her hanging out on Facebook, he's looking so much better now. They both look really good for their age. Yeah, I agree, Juggalo Gamer. Lanny is posting a lot of pictures of her and Jay going to different events and stuff. And Jay looks really fucking happy, and that's good to see. Alright, without further ado, I'm going to just jump right into this slideshow spectacular because I have songs to record and I have to go to my dad's house to meet a plumber. Really exciting shit. Okay, so they started about a half hour late on Thursday, the slideshow spectacular. And it was just ICP and a mountain of popcorn between them. A pretty big fucking mountain of popcorn. Jay tells a story right out of the gate about his mom bringing home a giant bag of popcorn when they were kids. And Jump Steady staying home from school and eating the whole bag all day. And like literally when Jay came back, Jump Steady was just finishing the giant bag of popcorn. And he said it was like a garbage bag of popcorn that Jump Steady polished off. Shaggy Tudo during this stream seemed to be almost threatened by that and challenging Jump Steady to finish maybe the whole mountain. He certainly was tackling his side of the mountain very heavily, getting popcorn all over the place, himself and the floor. That was one of my favorite things about the stream, is watching Shaggy Tudo's mess of popcorn grow around him as he was eating, and watching the dent grow into the mountain of popcorn as Shaggy Tudo worked on demolishing it. Jay said Jump Steady is dealing with some personal stuff on the home front. So I talked a little bit about this in the last stream about Jump Steady is probably working on The Gathering, but apparently something is going on that he's dealing with on the home front. He was very vague about that, but hopefully everything's okay with Jump Steady. Positive vibes to Jump Steady. Hopefully everything's cool. Those Chapter 17... Oh, were those Chapter 17 boys? I just thought those were 17 boys. I don't know if I could... Were those Chapter 17 boys? I think those were just 17 boys. Let's see here. So the first photograph here. The first ICP show ever was the first photograph. They're wearing wigs and sunglasses. Jay's rocking the reverse paint. John Kickjass is on stage with them. Shaggy's shirtless, and Jay says he looks the same now as he did then. Shaggy disagrees. He says he looks like that, but pregnant now. The show was at a punk rock club called Todd's on 7 Mile. They played with a band called Cold as Life, they said. And another 17 story. Now, I'm not keeping track at this point where these 17 stories are landing chronologically, but here's another one. So everyone who came into the club that night for that show had to basically mark down who they were there to see, ICP or Cold as Life. And apparently 17 people checked ICP that night. They said that 14 of them came with them. Let's see. Yeah, they brought 14 people. And they said that show got a little weird after the fact because some weird bigot motherfucker jumped on stage. Apparently they weren't there for this. This was after they had left. Some bigot jumped on stage and said, okay, enough of the N-word music. Which, how whack is that? Stupid friggin' rednecks at fucking shows. I have to say, real quick, as someone who performed at rap shows in the early aughts and shit, especially performing with other rock bands, you would have straight up like racist motherfuckers like say stupid ass shit, like frankly all the fucking time, and it honestly put a really bad taste in my mouth for the rock scene and the metal scene around here at the very least, and maybe just straight up the entire metal scene in general. I really kind of thought of them as all being sort of racist in a certain way, to be 100% with you. I'm at work, but happy to see a new show. Whoop whoop. Hey, shouts out to Naren, watching at work. I appreciate the hustle and watching my shit at work. Alric also with the whoop whoop. Might be at work as well, watching. So shouts out to the motherfuckers watching at work, because I know I be listening to podcasts and watching YouTube podcasts and shit at work myself. So I know the grind well, gentlemen, and it makes me feel good that you guys are doing that shit with my shit, if that makes any sense. Shouts out to my small but humble fan base. As usual, see, I knew it. Whoop whoop, motherfuckers, just got home from work. See, motherfuckers are coming home from work. I apologize for the early stream, but I had to get this out of the way. I'm really I'm gonna have to get these streams in whenever the fuck I can at this point. Okay. Let's see. They were talking about John having a broken hand in this photograph. You can see it's all wrapped up. And apparently John had a thing back in the day called the bear punch. It was his gimmick, Jay said, where he liked to punch people through windows of cars. And a lot of, like, just straight up punch motherfuckers in the face, but punch through a window of a car to punch you in the face. And so I guess John did this a bunch of times, but a lot of times it would end up breaking his fucking hand because he's punching through a damn car window. People don't beat the fuck out of these racists. No, apparently, because the motherfucking, they're among their friends and they feel fucking protected. And especially in lily-ass white Vermont. And I was too young to beat the fuck out of them because I was like a 14, 15-year-old and they were like all fucking in their 20s and shit. So unfortunately, I wasn't beating their ass either. Yeah. They should be getting their ass beat. On the real though, Jimmy Pockets. That shit, thankfully is, gone the fuck away. I don't think you can say the same thing about, you know, metal scene and the rock scene now, but who the fuck knows, man? Motherfucking racists be wanting to hide. I swear to God, there's racists in the goddamn rap scene. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy, yo. Anyway, the next picture is Juggalo Weekend 2020 in LA, right before COVID. This was at a beer festival, I guess. I don't know if I realized that this was at a beer festival, but this was the release of Whoop Dub, the ICP beer. They have 3 flavors of. I don't drink, so I've never tried Whoop Dub. Jay said he's coming out with his own beer, though. This is some news I haven't seen anyone report on. Jay said he's coming out with his own beer, a weed beer called Screwed, and his goal is to have the highest concentration of THC and the highest concentration of alcohol in one bottle. Jay told a story about going to a dispensary and seeing a cleaning solution on the counter and thinking that it was a beer bottle, a THC beer bottle, and they're like, no, dog, that's for cleaning. And Jay was like, damn, why ain't there a weed beer? So this is how he came up with the idea. Buds and Suds weed beer from Violent J, coming soon, called Screwed. The next picture is Cold 187, or Big Hutch. And it's a picture of him holding Billy Bill's gun, apparently. They speculate, is it a 45 or a 38? Billy screams from the background, it's a 357. They talk about Big Hutch being a pioneer of G-Funk. God damn it, what his group name? Oh my God. Above the Law. He's from Above the Law. Shouts out to the song Black Superman, really fresh ass song. Hey man, do you have a work email I could get to you with? humbleamong@gmail if you would like to email me. I believe it is scrolling down there for PayPal shit, but that is my email. You can email me things there. If you have beats, if you have I don't know, pitches or something, I'm definitely open. Whoop whoop to everybody in the chat. Also, Alric says, yeah, whoop whoop to everybody in the chat, all 5 of you. Let's see. Okay, I think that was all they had to say about Big Hutch. Oh wait, no, they did say as well that the album he put out on Psychopathic, where they used all psychopathic beats, they did say real quick that it probably would have been a better idea if he didn't do all psychopathic beats and just did his own album. But they said the album was fresh nonetheless. I honestly have only listened to a few songs from that album. The reputation is that he should have maybe not rapped over psychopathic beats, though, I know for a fact. The next picture is Let's Go All the Way video. A picture, I think it's a still from the video. This video was shot in Compton. I don't know if I realized that, but that is so fucking funny because if you've seen the Let's Go All the Way video, they definitely play it up to be like it's a suburban-ass, lily-white-ass neighborhood. So that's so fucking funny. It's Compton. They're rolling down the street and Let's Go All the Way. Jay tells a story about a girl on the Let's Go All the Way video that he brought onto the bus. And like a studly stud, he felt that she was on his dick. And so he decided to pull it out. And sure enough, she was on his dick after he pulled it out. That was really risky, though, they were talking about, and how that could have gone really bad. Jay said that's the only time he's ever pulled the wang piece out on a girl like that. Fucking wild. They did this music video and Tilt-A-Whirl the same weekend. Shaggy talked about having to spray paint his hair red. Jay talked about his jean jackets during this era. If you remember, Jay was wearing a lot of black jean jackets, dark denim jean jackets and shit. He said he liked to do that because he would imagine himself as Eddie Vedder on stage with that jacket. And he told a story about one time he was on stage at a place with a mirror, and Jay opened his eyes while I think he said he was singing 12, and after he was done singing 12, he opened his eyes and he looked in the mirror after feeling like he was Eddie Vedder with his eyes closed, rocking out. Looked in the mirror though and he realized, I'm no Eddie Vedder, I'm just a fat clown. I think the quote actually is, I'm no Eddie Vedder, I'm a fat clown. But boy, that shit is so funny. One of the biggest laughs from me of the whole night. I love that fucking story. That's so funny. Shaggy is really going hard with the popcorn at this point. Really going hard. Corporal Daryl Daniels, aka Young Violent J, versus Irish Mickey Doyle is the next picture. This is Jay's first professional wrestling match ever. this photograph. And I don't think they've ever shown this one. This is a fresh ass photo to see, because this story is talked about in Behind the Paint. Jay's told this story a bunch of times about his first wrestling match and not really knowing what to do and kind of faking that he had been trained properly and all that stuff. They talked about, let's see, how he came out of retirement for Rude Boy at a wrestling show. Jay gave his induction speech to IBW Hall of Fame, whatever that is. Jay had him at JCW at the Gathering a few times, or one time, I think. He wrestled him again as Hector Hatchett back in the day, and Mickey wanted him to get some juice as Hector Hatchett. So Jay went under the ring to pull out his razor and do the gimmick. And I guess he was taking too long, and he was pulled out from under the ring and sliced his forehead super deep in the process. And he said he was just squirting blood all over that motherfucker. Went really deep. And yeah, they were really mad. I guess people were really mad at all the blood. Let's see. JYD was backstage and said, "We gotta sew you up, kid." And straight up sewed up Jay's forehead with a regular ass needle and thread that I think they said they went across the street to get. Let's see. Jay told a story about it opening up again later that night while he was at home watching TV in bed, and he started seeing red again. He talked about how he could only see he could still see while he was bleeding, but it was all red. That's all he saw. Let's see. Shaggy left that wrestling show early that night to pick up a chick who worked at Chuck E. Cheese as the mouse. Chuck E. Cheese wore the suit as Chuck E. Cheese. Shaggy left to go pick her up instead of checking on Jay, and Jay was really mad. Then they started talking about George Bush's wife, Nancy Bush. And then they realized, oh shit, not really Nancy Bush, Nancy Reagan. And Jay was speculating that she gave good head. All very important notes to share with you guys. Excited to watch them tonight on Twitch. Me too. The Carnival of Carnage Jam Exam is tonight's Twitch stream, so tune into that. Okay, so the next photo is Joe, Joey, and Greasy in front of some graffiti that says Ghetto Zone. Let's see. They were talking about Greasy's 90210 look and how they wanted him to change it. Talked about modern rappers. It would be okay for modern rappers to look like Greasy, but it wasn't okay back then. Greasy doesn't want anything to do with the Juggalo world nowadays. Apparently he owns, I think they said he owns a bar or something, and Juggalos have tried to hit him up to be parts of stuff. They've hit him up to be part of the Gathering, I guess, and he wants nothing to do with the Juggalo world. Doesn't even want to talk about this shit. But they shouted him out nonetheless. His name is Eric too, by the way, so shouts out to Greasy, another Eric. Greasy did exactly one show, one song, and one photo shoot, and they were joking that it's the bare minimum to be a member of ICP is to do all those things. For about a month he was a member, and he left after getting a girlfriend. The next picture is Shaggy 2 Dope at the Psychopathic Records softball game. I guess they would do a softball game every year, and it would be the Artists versus the Office. And I guess the Office would always beat the studio's ass every year, because they would train, and the Office would get, the studio would get cocky, and Shaggy would be the team captain every year and get mad every year. They tell a crazy story about this point, about the Pistons winning the championship one year, and how there were riots and fires going on all over Detroit, cars on fire, mayhem, looting, all kinds of crazy shit. Cops show up and they start marching down the street, and the cop hits Jay with a billy club and basically just sends him on his way, and Jay, runs to his car and shit. They tell another story that's even crazier about the Red Wings winning, and there was riots again. Shaggy started a mob that almost rolled over a pickup truck with the guy in it while they're in a traffic jam. And then they realized that this is the same night that an even crazier story happens. Now this shit's crazy fresh. So they were all drinking 40s with Legs Diamond, and the Red Wings win. And so I guess they go to leave, and they're in the psychopathic van with who? I think they said Nate the Mac. I think they said Nate the Mac was with them in the psychopathic van. and they get out of the van, and they're in a traffic jam, so they get out of the van and they just start doing a full-on wrestling match on top of the damn van. And they get a bunch of motherfuckers out there watching them. People are honking their car horns, cheering. They're basically doing a wrestling match for the entire people in the traffic jam, which is so fresh. They're doing moves on top of the van, fucking it up, denting it, doing suplexes, full-on suplexes, power bombs, they said, caving the roof in. Random people started jumping in and doing moves to them. Suddenly a helicopter turns on the fucking spotlight and is raining down light on them, and they pause. They think, oh shit, we're in trouble. They put their hands up. Helicopter intercom comes on, and the police are like, yo, keep going. And basically they now have a spotlight illuminating them like it's a full-on fucking wrestling match. And yeah, the people are honking during every move. They're cheering from the cars. Awesome fucking story. They insist that that's a real story, and Shaggy even stops at one point and is like, yo, if anything, the story we're about to tell you is going to be undersold, not oversold. So I don't know, this story's fucking crazy, and I thought it was really fun. The next picture is a group pic with Joe, Rob, and Nate the Mac, and a bunch of other people. Shaggy points out this is before Jay was rapping because of his shoes and his pants. They're doing an ICP hand sign, which I guess is the old school ICP hand sign, which they said was taking your hand and pointing to Detroit on the murder mitten, if you will. The next picture is a Howard Stern show pic. They speculated it's from the last time they were on. I think they were on to promote the march the last time. Shaggy is still hurting the fuck out of the popcorn at this point, really making a mess on the floor at this point. And you can see a visual dent in the popcorn mountain. They gave Howard and the crew some love. Talked about how Howard always treated them with respect on that show. Shouts out to Howard Stern. I'm a big fan. I'd love to see ICP back on Howard Stern. I haven't honestly watched Howard Stern in a fucking long ass time. But if fucking ICP was on that shit, you best believe I'd be watching an episode of Howard Stern again. The next picture is from the Be Real podcast, from when they were on that. I think it's called The Smokeout. They told a story real quick about the day Beverly Kills came out, and how record stores would do midnight releases. And the day that Beverly Kills came out was the same day Black Sunday came out. So they went to a midnight release, and the whole crowd was nothing but Juggalos and Cypress Hill fans in unity, waiting for their respective releases. And I'm sure each of them leaving probably with one of each. Some Juggalos leaving with a copy of each, and probably hopefully some Cypress Hill fans leaving with copies of Beverly Kills. And I have to mention once again, the first time I ever heard ICP, I thought it was Cypress Hill. Have to mention that. The next picture is Tom Dubb, Misery, and Jump Steady in Europe or Canada. They're not quite sure. Shaggy tells a story about being on tour with Das Effects and Onyx, and how he was left behind in Canada while taking a shit. They were in Montreal, which is a French-speaking area. They were in Quebec, Montreal, Quebec, and they speak French out there. And so Shaggy had no money, was in like fucking, I think shorts and Jordans, he said, a t-shirt and Jordans, and no money, was kicked out into the snow because he had no money, and they were like, yo, you need to spend money to stay in here. They eventually came back after an hour and a half of Shaggy waiting in the snow, and yeah, Shaggy was pissed. They take a commercial break now. Jay needs to hug Shaggy after that story. They cut to Manny, and there's a really long and awkward silence as Manny struggles to know if he can talk yet, and it was beautiful. I loved it. It was so fucking awkward. Manny is really growing on me. Watching that made me want popcorn, so yo, shouts out to popcorn. I do not fuck with it at all, but straight up styrofoam to me. But yo, if you like popcorn, eat that shit like Shaggy too, though. Holy fuck. Let's see. Commercial break. Cut to Manny. Really long and awkward transition. I loved it. A little rough transition coming back from commercial as well. Manny explaining that the minute and a half commercial thing, if you're a juggalo and you have a product or a YouTube or anything that you want to promote, you can send in a commercial. And also, you can send in a 3-minute long music video. Manny says at least 3-minute long music video, but I'm pretty sure he meant no more than 3-minute long music video. They go back to the clowns, and Jay says he loves him some Manny. Shaggy says Manny needs to take notes. Jay points out Manny said that the music video needs to be at least 3 minutes long, so a 15-minute long music video is okay. More pitching of the commercials and the music video thing. And I think they said the email that you send it to is ICPhouseparty@gmail. So if you have a music video or a commercial that you want to send to promote your shit, send it to, I think, ICPhouseparty@gmail. Next picture is young JJ on Violent J's shoulders. They talk about, Jay talks about his kids growing up on the road, and how every year at the beginning of the school year he would go in and explain to the teachers, like, yo, we don't do this normal. You need to send the assignments to us on the road. Like, I travel with my kids, and I guess that's how he's raised his kids, is every year they would kind of bring them on the road with them, because Jay said he didn't want to be like one of those pro wrestlers who didn't know his kids. So that was really interesting. I don't know if Jay's ever talked about that, growing up, bringing the kids on the road. I'm sure he has, but to me, I think that's one of the first times he has talked about that. JJ is doing clowning on stage these days, and they also mentioned Tom Dubb is doing clowning, is employed by Psychopathic once again, and is doing clowning on stage again. ICP Theater pick is next. They're outside with a mime who apparently is Legs Diamond in Lancaster, PA, where I guess they were just making fun of random shit in Lancaster, PA on the street. I guess they went into Amish country that day and were making fun of Amish shit too. None of that shit got used, the Amish stuff, and very little of the Lancaster stuff got used, I guess. There was some more Amish talk, and there's a Violent J quote here. He says, you know, we've always wanted to kidnap an Amish girl. And Shaggy says, no, you've always wanted to kidnap an Amish girl. And I guess Jay wanted to kidnap them to give them a chance at freedom, which Shaggy, points out that they do have a chance to do that. There's a thing called Rumspringa, where they can, go out and, I think for a year or two, live their life and decide if they want to live the Amish life or, go out into the wicked world of modern man. They talk a little bit about Amish people cheating, airport Amish people, and Jay seeing one with a tablet one time. The next picture is the Eminem guest list, the infamous flyer or Eminem guest list, where it lists all these names that Eminem wanted to have in for the Slim Shady EP party, the release party. And this is allegedly the story that causes the beef with ICP and Eminem, because Eminem approached Violent J at, I forget which club, one of the clubs in Detroit, and handed him the flyer, and it said ICP might show up, or ICP maybe, as far as being a guest. And Violent J's like, yo, what the fuck is this shit? And he's like, well, this is me asking you, will you come? And Jay didn't like that shit and was like, no, fuck no, we ain't coming. So that's the start of the Eminem ICP beef, if you guys didn't know. That's really where it stems from. After that, I'm going to talk a little bit more about this on my Eminem Slim Shady LP video that I'm going to do. But after that, I think Eminem really had a chip on his shoulder with ICP and started saying some things about them in song. Most notoriously, the Hell Freezes Over track. I think that's where ICP heard the diss and decided to make Slim Anus. Yeah, that's how the whole Eminem ICP shit started. I thought it was really interesting they brought this up. Jay really brushed past this, but he did say that he wants to break down all the names on that list someday, but apparently not today, because they brushed right past this motherfucker. Jay brings up Eminem later on in the stream, and I really feel like Jay is working hard to say respectful things about Eminem in hopes that something can happen respectfully, where he can be on a track with him or something. He really is, there was a stream recently on Twitch where he talked about JJ saying Eminem was his favorite rapper, and Jay was like, that's a good choice. we'll get to the other thing. I can't remember off top what else Jay said about M in this stream, but there was something he had to say. Shaggy jumping off a speaker stack. I believe this was at the Gathering one year. He said he had water in his lungs after doing this and had to go to urgent care. And also, this was the first time Shaggy got a finger up his bum, where apparently a horny EMT wanted to put his finger up his bum. That was speculation from Jay that he was horny. Backstage pass picture. This is a pornography film that that Insane Clown Posse were in the late 90s. This movie's really weird. They have new metal motherfuckers telling like weird sex stories in this thing. Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope are in it, throwing meat on women, I believe. And apparently on their tour bus, some motherfuckers had some sexual relations. No fish fillet. Really looking forward to the COC Jam Exam. Really have grown a big love for that album as I get older. Straight up, same too, man. Humble Among You get a fish fillet Friday. Fish fillet? Fish fillet? That's where the fish fillet comment came from. No fish fillet for me, my man. But yeah, as far as Carnival of Carnage, Trailer Park, I love Carnival of Carnage. I've called it my favorite Joker's card before, but I've done the math on songs that I truly consider unskippable ICP songs on a Joker's card, like songs I will never ever skip if they come on. And Hell's Pit has the most unskippable songs for me. But I mean, Carnival of Carnage, I think, was a close second. And honestly, I just love the sound of Carnival of Carnage, how dirty and industrial and synthy. And I just love the synths. It just sounds like a Detroit rap album to me. I love that shit. It's always been my favorite artwork for a Joker's card, Trailer Park says. Yeah, man, it's pretty fucking... I mean, that clown to me is, that is the clown, Jay says, that dropped the cards. You know what I mean? So that clown... That's the start of that shit, you know what I mean? That clown's super important. The Carnival of Carnage clown. He's the intro. Allegedly he is the one. He is the paranormal spirit that visited Violent J that evening. He is the embodiment of the Dark Carnival in a lot of ways. That clown's super important. Yeah. Let's see. I scrolled up accidentally here. All right, Backstage Pass, that's what I was on. So Jay tells a story about one of those porno girls that's on the cover of Backstage Pass with them. Jay was asking her how much she makes per scene or in a day, and she said $500. And Jay offered her $500 to get the whole porno treatment. And so he did that, and he said this disgusts him today that he paid for sex like that. Julie Rage is her name, by the way, the porno chick. And he tells a story about going on Howard Stern and telling that story about, paying $500 to the porno chick. And allegedly, she was listening that day with her husband, and that Violent J story on Howard Stern caused their divorce. Jay kind of felt bad about that, but Jen Shaggy reminds him that she was a bitch to them in the airport, and that's why he did that shit on the air. And so apparently that was justified, and that made Jay feel better. At this point, Shaggy is just straight up spitting popcorn everywhere. It's just everywhere at this point. The next picture is WCW Deadpool, the stable Deadpool that they had in WCW, which is Vampiro, Raven, and the Insane Clown Posse. Vivi Leon, I will check my email real quick for you. Yes, sir. Or ma'am? I'm not sure your gender, but I do have your email, it looks like. Thank you. I will check that out later. Back to talking about WCW though. Let's see. They talked about that stable getting sued by Marvel Comics for the character Deadpool, and how no one knew who the fuck Deadpool was at the time. Shaggy didn't even know who Deadpool was at the time, I think he was saying. And very important to note, at the end of this, Jay said he would love to do something with AEW. I've been pushing for AEW, or really more importantly GCW ICP connection, for a little bit now. I think it's really dope that he said he wants to do something. So let's make that happen as Juggalo fandom. Let's make some new wrestling shit happen with the Clowns, you guys, because the Clowns have been in damn near every major wrestling promotion ever. They are one of the only wrestling entities to be in like all of these different wrestling promotions. We have to make them get into AEW. I want to see it happen. And GCW while we're at it. Fuck it. The next picture is Jay and Rude Boy with Prince impersonator named Purple Rain. Now, Jay told a really funny story about how this picture exists on one of Rude Boy's social medias. He speculated it was MySpace. But Jay is cropped out, and there's no mention in the picture caption that it is an impersonator named Purple Rain. And Jay thought that was so fresh that Rudy was maybe trying to pass on that he has a legit picture with Prince, and that he cut Jay out. How fresh that was. JCW is more likely, but AEW has done so much cool stuff, I would not be surprised if they made a funny little cameo. I mean, I agree. I think JCW is definitely more likely, especially with Sabu doing stuff with them. But AEW obviously is the bigger promotion, where they would. I think that obviously that's where Jay wants to go because he called them out. But it would make more of a splash, you know what I mean? AEW definitely would make more of a splash, and I think that's what Jay wants to do. But I don't know if they can do anything physically, is the thing. It's definitely not a good idea for Jay's heart to be doing anything in the wrestling ring, I would say. Shaggy, I think, said he might be willing to take a bump in this stream. He said something about taking a bump. I can't remember if he said he's willing to take a bump or not willing to take a bump. Shaggy would be more likely to take a bump. I mean, he's kind of takes bumps on Shaggy and the Creep anyway, right? Shouts out to the fucking wrist. Let's see. The next picture is ICP and Vampiro with Norman Smiley at the gathering. And Jay tells another crazy ass story about they were all drunk, like him and like 10 fucking wrestlers. And they all decided like fucking 3 a.m. drunk as fuck to go to the wrestling ring at the gathering and do an impromptu 10-man match. They were able to somehow find a light to turn it on and start wrestling, and Juggalos started gathering around. If anyone knows what year this happened, I'm curious as fuck. If anyone was there for this wrestling match at 3 a.m., I'm also very curious as fuck if they witnessed it. So apparently Vampiro gets in with Norman Smiley and starts chopping him real hard, and Norman Smiley just starts taking chops from everybody. All the wrestlers on Violent J's team, and then all the wrestlers on Norman Smiley's team as well. And then fans start coming in and chopping Norman Smiley. I guess they recreated this spot the next day for JCW in the daytime. But instead they had everyone from the dressing room, the locker room, come out and give him chops. Violent J said that they felt bad and gave him $500 extra, Norman Smiley, for being a good sport. The next picture is Shaggy and his kids, young kids. I think this is Lucha Lili and Lucha Ronin, very young. And Shaggy has a beard. Jay said he was mad about Shaggy's beard, and then he compliments Eminem's beard. That's the other weird Eminem complimenting moment that was on the stream that I was mentioning earlier. Next picture is Evil Dead on stage. Jay says he measures Juggalo's juggaloism by if they know who Evil Dead is, and then he mentions the word juggalodium, which is a new word he invented earlier in the stream. This is the second time he said it, though. I didn't put it in my notes for earlier in the stream, but I did here because I noticed it was the second time he said it. So shouts out to juggalodium. I like that term. Evil Dead wrestles very stiff, Shaggy was saying. He really throws punches, really throws potted plants. He really does that shit. They told the story about when Rob wrestled King Kong Bundy as Evil Dead, and King Kong Bundy had to lose to Evil Dead, and King Kong apparently went in and threw a real punch to Rob right at the beginning of the match to sort of get a receipt in before the fact, I guess. And Rob took that shit. Let's see. Evil Dead on stage for special concerts only, they talked about. They said if you see Evil Dead crawl out on stage during a concert, you are at a very special legendary ICP concert. So I've seen Evil Dead now at the last 2 ICP concerts I went to, Hallowicked, and I believe he crawled out on stage during Old School Heat at one point. I can't remember if he was on there for the heavy metal show. I don't think he crawled out there for that. So the last couple of shit, and I think Evil Dead was at the Hootenanny too. So I feel very blessed to have been at a couple of legendary ICP shows recently. Damn near every ICP show, I think at this point is going to be legendary. So I would recommend going to the Clowns if you get a chance, because they're, you know, they're kind of slowing things down. The farewell tour is next year. That will be your chance to see them more regularly, but they are slowing things down. So get in to see that Violent J birthday show in April. April 28th, by the way, I think they said was the date for the Violent J birthday show. I highly doubt I will be attending that shit. I need to save money for that fucking gathering. The next picture is ICP with Vanilla Ice and Tall Jess. Shaggy says that Vanilla Ice stays young with Bar S water. They comment on his very young chin hair. Jay says he bathes his face in Ecuadorian squid pus. Squid pus, my bad. Shaggy says ladies from the Orient come over and gingerly rub their clam titties on him. That's how he stays young. Jay says he thinks he rubs Tibetan Siamese evil ostrich egg yolk on himself. Shaggy says some people get veneers, but V-Ice took all of his teeth out and replaced them with shaven down pearls. That's how pearly white his teeth are. They talk a little bit about the I Love the 90s tour and how Vanilla Ice invited them to come out for the Detroit date. And how right before that, there was a bunch of girls on stage, and they're like, how the fuck are we going to get over during all these girls? And then they get called out to do chicken hunting. When they say, I guess when Vanilla Ice said ICP, shouts out the ICP in the house, the crowd did a little murmur. But when ICP actually makes it through the crowd of girls and the crowd can see them, the crowd popped and erupted. And they were not expecting that reaction. Then Jay talks about how after that they've started to try to book festivals some more, and how they get good reaction at some of these festivals. And I think, honestly, I think this is a sign of the worm turning, if you will, for ICP in popular culture. I think they are a lot more accepted these days in popular culture. It's obvious to me they're more accepted because you see more glowing press things about them. They're not shit on as much. They were talking a little bit about this with Spin Magazine having an article. I think they said the 100 coolest things to do this decade or something, and one of the cool things to do was take ICP serious. Humble a 20-piece chicken nuggets or a Chipotle burrito. Chipotle salad. I get Chipotle salad, my guy. I like the Chipotle salad. That's not the answer to the question that you want, but Chipotle salad. Let's see here. All right, I think I hit everything as far as ICP and popular culture. But yeah, they are being taken a lot more seriously these days, and I think that's awesome. The next picture was Woodstock 99. Picture of Jay with a girl over his head looking like he's about to throw her. Apparently he threw her into a Faygo stack, he said. They talked about Woodstock and how the audio for Woodstock is fucked up. They said something about they played 2 DATs at the same time, and so the audio is really fucked up. I don't know if maybe there's just an echo, though. I know what they mean about that audio being fucked up. It definitely is a little fucked up. And they said they can't even watch it, though, because the audio is so fucked up. They talked about doing that Woodstock documentary for HBO, how they were interviewed for like 2 hours. They did the interview and talked about how proud they were to play and not letting the dark side of everything ruin the experience, how juggalos weren't involved with any of that shit. But then the interviewer told them about the promoter coming out and doing a press conference where he basically said they wish they didn't even invite ICP and the juggalos, and really tried to put the blame on juggalos and ICP fandom for, you know, the shit that went down, which, you know, is just, you know, ridiculous. Definitely juggalos, you know, had nothing to do with that shit. I would, pretty fucking obvious they didn't. It was some motherfucking meatheads that were in that place that did those things. But yeah, Jay said that hurt him. That bummed him out. That promoter did, and they were basically saying fuck that guy, and they're right about saying this. Fuck that guy. His legacy is $10 water bottles. And ICP's legacy is going to be a lot better than $10 water bottles. It's going to be Faygo bottles. Jay threw her into the Faygo coffin, he said at the end there. One more picture, and we're going to wrap this stream up. The Headbangers giving Shaggy a chair shot to the head. And Jay on the ground selling a chair shot that he had just gotten to the head. Shaggy said that you can't fake a chair shot to the head, and how they were talking about how the Headbangers wanted to really teach them a lesson in this era of wrestling. How they didn't think that ICP respected the wrestling business, that they were just rappers who were coming in here and weren't really wrestlers, and so they wanted to teach them a lesson. I think the whole locker room maybe felt that way about ICP. Headbangers apparently said that the office told them to do this kind of shit to ICP, but ICP speculated it was maybe just the Headbangers themselves. Talked about getting their ass beat with Headbangers in that match, and how they went backstage and thanked them for the match, because that's how you do it. Talked about how kayfabe was still very much a thing in the 90s, and how ICP understood that, and they were trying to play ball with the wrestling business, so they thanked them for kicking their ass. Booked them at the Gathering years and years later, I think 2017, and they were teasing some more ill shit coming as bonus footage. The Old School Heat second part was played after this show, and they did say Carnival of Carnage Jam exam is tonight, is Monday night. So the subs only section, starting now, I'm going to tell you a couple of the gems that were in the subscriber only portion. And Jay said his voice is a little gone. He apologized for his voice being gone in the stream. His voice is giving out towards the end of the Twitch non-subscriber portion only portion. I said it's because he's cutting vocals to the Walking Home Tuesday single, the next single in the Walking Home series with Kuma. He said it's going to come out in about a month. He said that this comes with a board game. Now, I think the idea is the whole thing collected together will be a board game, not this next portion comes with a board game. He said it will be out in about a month, was how he put it. Then he announced the April 28th 50th birthday concert, and he said that his favorite acts will be on the bill. Will be the openers for this concert. Jay's favorite acts. So that's dope. Look forward to see who gets booked for that. If we get bigger name artists from the underground, friends of ICP, FICP by my CD. Exactly, Kyle. That's the disc that I'm talking about. Post Juggalo March reception from media to Juggalos has been beautiful. Yeah, that's about the point where it changed, huh, Trailer Park? Yeah, I think you're right there. Lil Niffer, whoop whoop, I see you. Yeah, that's probably about the time it started to change, when they were on that press run for Juggalo March stuff. They did start to get some respect for that. And so after that, that's about it. They announced the birthday show for April 28th. Now, it's being reported that this is a Patreon or a Twitch stream. I don't know if they actually said it's a Twitch stream for this. It might be a show only. I'm hoping it's a Twitch stream, but you have to be careful with these clowns and their verbiage, because I was fucking 100% sure they were going to be streaming both nights of Juggalo Weekend, and I said that on here because they were fucking basically saying that. They never ended up doing that. They only taped one night, which ended up shooting me in the foot as far as taking footage that first night. I really regret not taking more footage that first night of the rock and roll show, man, because fuck, that was so dope. Vlog footage coming soon, nonetheless. I will edit that vlog at some point. I have music I have to finish first, but I will jump on that probably after I finish my April Fool's EP. April Fool's EP coming someday. You can maybe guess what day it's coming. Shaggy the Airhead produced the whole damn thing. So go check that out when it drops. Whatever day it might be dropping. That shit is fucking fresh. Really happy with the songs. We got 5 songs for that. Some special features on that. Yeah, it's gonna be fucking dope. check that out, coming real soon. Go check out my other music, by the way. Valentine Tape 2 just released right before Valentine's Day. Christmas Tape 3 just released right before Christmas. Halloween Tape 4 just released right before Halloween. You can sense a theme. Also, Wonderland, Fear of a Whack Planet. I got a lot of fucking albums. Go check those shits out, man. There's a lot of dope shit on there. At least I think so. I think you would think so too if you like fucking weird music. Alright, that's about it. I'm going to do an unboxing video for you guys either tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to do a Batman review video about the new Batman movie. I have a few thoughts I want to share with you about Batman, the Batman. I want to do an interview with my homie Kosuke about his new project, Ain't Nothing... Ooh, let me get it right. I fucked it up the other night on the stream. I want to make sure I get it right. Kosuke's new album is called... Where are you, Kosuke? I know I searched for you recently. There you are. Ain't Much Left to Lose is his new album. Go listen to my go listen to my Kosuke. Go listen to my homie Kosuke's new album. Ain't Much Left to Lose. It's fucking dope. If you like more new school style rap, auto-tune style rap, this is your shit. Go listen to that. Alright, I think that's about it. New music video coming soon, I hope. Bitch Boy music video coming soon. Oh! And I have some really crispy footage of my Juggalo Jump Off performance. Travis Pitcher. Shouts out to Travis Pitcher. I believe that's the homie's name who filmed it. I'm going to be uploading, I think, that whole fucking show. I think I'm just say fuck it and upload that whole show for you guys. Because it is a really... I thought it was a dope performance. And it's fucking pretty clean footage. So I think I'm going to upload that today, tomorrow, sometime. So expect some new content coming soon. Humble Among. Always doing new shit. Always doing different shit. Always giving you my perspective. And trying not to be redundant with it. Hopefully I'm not redundant with it with my content. One of my goals is to not give you the same shit that you're hearing other places. I'm going to give you different shit, I hope. And there goes my phone. So that's a good sign that we need to end the stream. I just broke my phone. I love you guys. Have a good evening. Whoop whoop. End broadcast. Wait.